our children do matter, and they're the most important thing. And that we need to start making decisions that will create a better future for them.
The land's alive, and we can't live without it. We can't breathe without it. We can't nourish ourselves with water without it. We need to save ourselves. We're not saving Mother Earth.
We are dependent on water. We're dependent on air. We're dependent on the sun and dependent on Mother Earth for our existence. And it must be safeguarded, must be taken care of. And there's babies that are yet to come. The future generations are still coming, even the ones that we will not see. But today, whatever we do has a significant impact on their existence. And that I would appeal to the heart and the mind and the spirit of the people who might hear it to give thought and take action, to think about those generations that are yet to come. We're not the only ones that, need to exist in this world, but our future generations. We want them to be able to live in a world that's healthy and clean for them.
We have to become students of nature. We have to apprentice ourselves to the natural world. And we have to understand and learn the real lessons of ecology, that we are one member of a larger living family on this earth. And if we do not learn that, we have a more hard road ahead of us.
Maailmien kaunui olu olomo, ja muhtiema leh enepu, ja muhtiema leh pinnipu. Ja mint kaipiri johke kovlos olomohkalke hoadju suurirtes vuora meistä tarpari. Tanien kun min elle sammelajito kun echa kovlos ja tahle tehelas. Ja tahmille meistä tehelas, tahmin tuolla akta vuora, min epkalka sohti, tanien kun misle jolkus ta etnami. Ja min vertep alki paraka enepu. Ahe suori kalkka sadda ja mo saavan ahtahnu sadda.
Mitakiepi, my very beloved relatives, past, present, and future. It is time for each and every one of us to recognize each of us as a sovereignty, ancient and perishable and everlasting. That we have been born from the universal sea of consciousness of love and compassion, and that each one of us have a wonderful, beautiful contribution to make to all humanity, to the future generations. That each one of us right now, at this moment, are the spiritual representatives of all that have gone before us. And it's time, Mitakiepi, to step forward into a new consciousness, a new reality, and let go of any ways of violence, to let go and put down our weapons, whether they be physical weapons, spiritual weapons, emotional weapons, mental weapons, anything that separates us and allows us to think ourselves to be superior to another human being in any shape or form, that removes all prejudice between us, and to truly step forward and heal those intergenerational traumas that each of us carry and have been carrying for many, many generations. It's time to enter in to the day that will not be followed by night. Haulimi chante washtelo shankmano hemeado chinupasapa hemeado haulimi chante washte.
What we really need in the next step of human understanding is to collectively understand that it's biodiversity, biomass, and accumulated organic matter that are the basis of gas exchange, photosynthesis, that are the basis of biodiversity and the potential of genetics, and that are the basis of infiltration, retention, of rainfall and all moisture, which is the natural regulation of hydrology, weather, and climate. And then if we carry that further, we can understand that this is the basis of life. This is the basis of value. And that if we got this correct and we valued this higher than stuff, than shiny objects that degrade and are thrown away and are potentially toxic, then we would understand that this could be the basis of our money. This could be the basis of our economy. This would change human civilization forever. This would mean that within a few hundred years, we would be back to evolutionary climax equilibriums, and that humans would learn to adapt and to live in natural systems. That's where we're supposed to. We're supposed to live in paradise. We're not supposed to live in a degraded state. We emerged in a beautiful, beautiful planet, and we should take care of this and restore this because we understand it. We know this now.
You can see it from the spiritual point of view. You can see it from the scientific point of view. I mean, life wants to survive. You know, that's its energy. How can, you know, like some molecules just want to replicate themselves? That's life. You know, there's like these molecules, these components, these chemicals, that suddenly they want to replicate. They want to evolve. So for me, that evolution is the most important and interesting also aspect, and also the most positive aspect of all of this. Yeah, the Earth might evolve also without us, but at the same time, we somehow, for some reason, we're here, and we survived also, you know, millions of years of evolution. So I think we can also try to reflect on that, kind of like be thankful for that as well.
And it's quite fascinating also that the religious cosmologies and the scientific understandings of evolution don't differ. So if you know, God made the world and put human beings in the Garden of Eden, okay. If you look at evolution, you have 4.5 billion years, a molten rock surrounded by poisonous gases is processed into a beautiful garden with an oxygenated atmosphere, flowing water, tremendous biodiversity, flowers and butterflies and birds and animals. It's wonderful. And then human beings emerge. Well, in either story, human beings emerge in paradise. But then we sin and we lose the garden. So what is that? Well, I don't understand the apple and all that stuff. But if I look at it from the evolutionary side, it's the original sin is the reduction of biodiversity, which leads to a reduction in biomass, which leads to a reduction in the accumulation of organic matter. And then we have altered gas exchange, nutrient release, nutrient recycling, and infiltration and retention of rainfall. And you get deserts, and you get climate change, and you get the end of civilization. So we should learn this quickly. Now's the moment.
The world of today is filled of weakness. We are not weak. We were born with immense strength. It is so sad to see a strong person, yet you display weakness. Why? I will say this. The world of today, gather your strength together. I see the strength that you have. John Lennon said that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not alone. I will reiterate what he said. I'm a dreamer, but I'm not alone. I am not weak. I am strong. I have the strength of the world to push through because the world is behind me as it is. The strength, it's so immense in each and every heart of people that When I look at the eyes of people, that is the strength I see. You're not weak. You're only suffering from the hallucination of the weakness.
Il n'y a aucune raison d'avoir peur.
Mes sœurs et frères en humanité, je vous invite simplement à avoir beaucoup de précautions pour vous-même et beaucoup de précautions pour les autres. Concrètement, à partir d'aujourd'hui, par décret universel, nous décidons tous d'être bienveillants avec les autres humains. Alors par exemple, en voiture, y a un monsieur là un peu perdu qui ne connaît pas la ville, il roule au pas, il tourne à droite sans clignotant, au lieu de klaxonner et de l'engueuler, eh bien on ralentit et on le laisse se sortir de la mauvaise passe dans laquelle il s'est mis. Et si nous agissons comme ça avec bienveillance dans notre quotidien, nous allons changer le monde. Il faut être très doux avec nous-mêmes et très doux avec les autres. Ça s'appelle la tolérance. Ça s'appelle l'amour. Ça s'appelle la fraternité. Ça s'appelle la solidarité. Ça s'appelle la vie. Awen.
I'm here to listen to Mother Earth and to people who have been living with Mother Earth, closely to Mother Earth, with knowledge about how Mother Earth provides us with food, shelter, warmth, love. That's why we are here, to remember who we are as a humanity, one family, all brothers and sisters, all related.
Beste iedereen, wat ik jullie zou willen vragen is om na te denken over wat je talenten zijn en om die te gebruiken voor een nieuwe en hoopvolle toekomst. Talenten die, als je die gebruikt, je plezier in het leven geeft, want dan ben je gewoon met mooie dingen bezig en die de wereldbevolking en de wereld en de natuur, mensen en dieren een stapje verder helpen.
I would like to invite adults to step aside for a moment and allow the children's vision to take over the world. I would like them to listen to the children because they're clear. They're not sold, they're not terrified, they're not burnt out, they're not voting, they have a vision for the future, and move over and let them take on, because the children have incredible visions, and I would just like the adults to not think that they're in charge, because if they're in charge, they should be ashamed of themselves of everything they've done. But the adults are not in charge anymore. The next generation is inventing their own future, and we have to open space for them and support them.
At my age today of 67 winters, the thing that I am most thankful for is the realization that the biggest teachers in the world are children. Because children have simplicity of view, which is powerful. They have truth, they have outrageousness, they're honest, and they have hope.
We're trying to save humanity. We're trying to save human beings. The choices that we make now affects the next 7 generations. We want to make sound and better choices, because the truth is people are dying. The animals are dying. The fish are dying. The water is dying. So the industry is killing people. And they don't care. They don't even care for their own future generations to make better choices for their own children.
Yeah, really recognizing and remembering our sense of bioregional and watershed community, because that's what we all have in common. And if we all take care of that, because water is life, we're 2/3 water, the trees are about 94% water. If we take care of the water throughout, from the trees and the mountaintops all the way to the bottoms of our lakes and rivers, and in our case, the sea or even the ocean, then we are all living in a paradise again. And I think that's what we all would like to do. We just have kind of forgotten for the moment how to do that.
Дэлхийн нийтэд би хүн төрөлхтний хамгийн анхны 3 хэрэгцээг л хэлхийг хүсэж байна. Энэ бол мөнгө биш. Энэ бол баян тансаг амьдрал биш. Ганцхан 3 хэрэгцээ байдаг. Хүний хамгийн анхны хэрэгцээ. Амьсгалах агаар, хүүхд төрөөл амьсгалах агаартай байж амьдрал. Уух устай байж бид цаашаа амьдрна. Цэвэр устай байж амьдрна. Гიშгэх газар шороотой байж бид цаашдаа хэрхэн амьдрахаа дараагийн асуудалтаа ярьж болно. Хамгийн анхны 3 дахь хэрэгцээг л бид бүгдөө иргэн нэг санаж, иргэн нэг дурсаж бүгдөө мэдэрч үзэх хэрэгтэй байна. Амьсгалахгүй хамраа чимхэд хэдэн минут болох нь. Ус уухгүйгээр хэдийн хугацаанд бид нэр төвчих нь. Гიშгэх газаргүй бол бид нар хаана явах вэ? Энэ л 3 зүйлийг анхаараасаа гэж дэлхийн нийт хүмүүст уриалж хэлмээр байна да.
You need to continue believing in a positive future, but you need to look at your community, the resources in your community, and look back to your customs and traditions and use that as a foundation to build a better future for your community. And always keep in mind that we are here for such a short period of time, and that while we're here, we need to put our best efforts forward to have positive lives, positive communities, and a positive world. The focus needs to be on the youth and their lives in the future, but also that this message needs to be provided to those select few who are making decisions that affect Indigenous people's lives and lives of all people, and that the message is to make sure that we understand that we are in this all together. It's not just in certain parts of the world. We are all affected equally.
Everything on earth is based on a relationship. So if I'm going to ask for help from the universe, like I told you earlier, I have to give something in return. I can't just go stand out on that porch and say, somebody help me. I have to take a gift because it's an exchange of energy. So I take the tobacco, I take the water, I take the food. So as long as we're able to get in that rhythm of exchange, and it's not payment, it's appreciation. And so I make relationship in my language. When I say wachekia, it's not pray. It's meaning, it says to make relationship with the universe. Because the universe is not one being. It's a huge, sacred, moving energy that hopefully in my lifetime I can gain some type of understanding. And that is the most basic blockage that corporations and politicians, bankers, the biggest blockage is they have forgotten how to make relationship. I think that we don't even think twice when we know that we have to defend our children, because we grow up around the campfires, we grow up around the hearth of cooking, we know when people are hungry, we know they're tired, we know that when people are getting on each other's nerves, and there's going to be a breaking point in the home when that happens. If you're hungry, angry, lonely, and tired, they say, halt, don't get to that point. And at that point, the mothers are saying, we have to do something, and nobody's doing anything, we have to take care of it. And so I think that's why a lot of, and it's not like we haven't stepped up before, but a lot of grandmothers and mothers recognize that never in our lifetime do we want our children to be thirsty and not be able to give them water. And we're very near that now, though, because a lot of our rivers and our lakes and our aquifers are polluted. So if we can stop now, we're working 24/7 to stop that.
the children know. I think it's time we wake up and listen to them. And there is a difference between hearing and listening. And we got to be in the present, in the moment, to be able to listen. And it isn't even listening, it's beyond that. It's feeling what they're saying. If you want to see a miracle, watch a baby be born. If you want to see a miracle, watch a plant grow from a seed. The miracles are happening all around us. All we got to do is wake up.
I love you all. You are what it's about. Come and have the courage. Courage isn't killing. Courage is facing yourself for what you are.
You're it. We're doing it. We're already doing it. From the day we were born, from before we were born. We knew what we were coming here to do, and we're doing it. We've never been out of grace. We've never sinned and needed to be saved. We're doing it. We are already all we need. We just got mixed up. We took life choices that we think were wrong. I've been into drugs, I've been into alcohol, and I've been into wrecking families and being horrible to my children. But when you look back at that, at least when I can look back at that, there's lessons in there for me and healings for me and my family. There's healings for my children and lessons for them to come through and learn, to understand that we never were what they told us we were. And everyone has been told that they're less than the grand creator who is looking down on us and judging us for every move we make. That's, to me, that's not true. We've always, if all that is all that is, and all that is love, then how does anything get outside of that? Fit everything into that parameter. That's what I say. And the parameter isn't like this, the parameter is like this. All inclusive. That would be my message. All that is all that is, and all that is love. Figure that one out.
Climate change, we really figured out the first part of the word climate. We know everything from carbon, methane, but the second part of the word, change, is what we really need to do. We really need to change how we live, how we talk, how we walk, everything. So instead of climate change, we need to put change in front of and change climate.